All right, and just like that, she's on the air
Hey,
with
how are
me.
you?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. I'm at a wrestling show here in Toronto, just supporting a local show here, the Man Lucha.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for being
Woo!
here. Thank you for
No
being.
problem.
Thank you for. And this is the 8 year anniversary show. You've been on this show before, so I'm happy to have you back on.
Oh well, thank you very much, and happy 8-year anniversary! Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. So we got some cashing up to do apparently. Uh,
Yes, we sure do.
so let's do just that. How have you been since the last time you've been on the show?
When is the last time that I was on the show?
I'm gonna say probably a couple years ago. Maybe three
Um,
years ago, maybe.
okay. Well, I have honestly just been keeping very busy. I'm still up here in Toronto, Canada, and I've just been doing my thing, sticking to the hardcore deathmatch style, and just getting in my strong style matches. Also, loving life, loving Canada, loving the USA, loving Europe. Been on a few tours. Um, just across Europe and just getting my training in, and especially in the U.S. Just been just living that dream, just waiting for like the bigger and better opportunities out there, and watching all of my friends succeed. Loving wrestling.
Awesome. And I did looked it up. The last time you was on the show was on Oc- was on October the 30th, 2014.
Oh wow, okay.
So that was nearly almost 5 years ago. The last time you was on the show. Um,
Oh okay.
so that's awesome to hear that things are going pretty good since then. And I do remember during that span, maybe it was last year or the year before that, but you wrestled for a company called Girl Fight Wrestling at the Indiana.
Yeah.
And I was mad that night because I could not be able to make it to that show and meet you in
Oh.
person. I was bummed
Oh.
I was bummed out. So hopefully you'll be back in that area in the future. Um,
Oh, you never know. I might show up for a show or some training. You never know. I like to. I love
surprise.
America, so can't keep me away from there.
All right, so definitely we'll keep that in mind. So I definitely want to talk about these death matches that you was mentioning. Um,
Ooh, my favorite things. Okay.
so um, obviously me being a wrestling fan, I'm used to seeing men be part of these matches, and I'm now seeing females like yourself a part of it. You as a competitor yourself and going through these matches, like how do you feel about the perception of women competing in these death matches?
Honestly, from the feedback and the appreciation that I get um, from the fans, most importantly, is I get a lot of respect, and they tend to give me feedback saying that, like, I'm so tough, I'm so crazy, and as long as like I'm getting that message across that like females can do the exact same thing as males, and like we really have established that, and just being a part of that type of movement, I think is it's really great because like I'm getting the respect. People aren't underestimating me. I sort of come off as a little too prissy, a little too feminine sometimes, and people would underestimate exactly how brutally violent and tough and ultra violent I can be. So I love that. I like the amount of respect that I get in the locker room from people. So like, just people saying, hey, I really love what you did there. That's just so crazy. How did you survive? How did this happen? How was it facing that person? Like, when you did those certain moves or when you took those certain bumps, how are you still living? Like, how are you still wrestling? And, I think it's great. And then, from the media and stuff like that, I think it draws the right type of attention that I was looking for, is just to stand out a little bit differently from what a lot of other people a lot of females are doing, or wrestlers in general. I just like to do something just a little bit more ultra-violent. And so the death matches seems to be the perfect for me. Although I do appreciate like the more competitive, strong style, which is good, but I need to get my fix in there. I love blood. I love watching people not bleed and then all of a sudden bleed just because they've been with me. And I like the sight of my own blood too, without sounding too crazy, even though I am crazy.
You are more brave than most people. You are,
Oh, thank you very much.
so some people are either scared or not even willing to try, and I guess to each his own. I mean, whatever is comfortable between them. But at the end of the day, you are a performer. You go out there to entertain the fans, and sometimes you gotta go a little extra. If it means that you're gonna end up have your face covered in blood, and the fans eat it up, then that's what you have to do. I have never had an issue with women um in these death matches. I think it's intriguing, and I respect them for willing to go that route. Like yourself, Mickey Knuckles, and
Yeah, love her.
much love to Mickey. I've interviewed her before. She's crazy herself in her own right. I've seen how she gets down. Um, she's one tough gal like yourself.
She is
So
one positive like energy, and she's perfect for deathmatch wrestling. And she's done so much for the industry. So hell yeah, I agree with you.
so I'm all for it. Long as the women are comfortable within themselves, and I say go for it. Just whatever happens. Can't please everybody, obviously, but if that's the route you willing to take, then I say go for it. So it's all
Exactly.
it's all good. I have some favorite moments in the 8 years that I've done this show.
Ooh, do
And
tell.
so for the last several years, I have done like video message shout outs, or at least get video message shout outs from people. And you did a video message for me a couple years back celebrating an anniversary. And
Oh, I remember that with the barbed wire bat.
yeah, with the barbed wire bat, you was dead on with it. The character and everything, and you looked very intimidating while you just with that bat
Thank
alone.
you.
So that was absolutely badass. So that's probably one of my favorite messages that I've gotten. So that's pretty awesome. So um,
I'm
so
so happy to hear that.
so if you haven't had a video message from Jules Malone, I highly recommend you do so. Is at celebvm.com. Click on the wrestlers tab. She's still there somewhere, but she'll hook you up with some message, and who knows, she might have that exact same barbed wire bat. I guess if you put it in the request, I didn't even add that as a request. She just did that her own. So you never know.
Yeah, that baby, that is my precious.
So
Barbed wire is my precious. I need that. And then, yeah, that thing sleeps right beside me in my bed.
so
Well, not really in my bed. That's uncomfortable. But it's right beside my bed.
does this barbed wire bat have a name?
Precious.
Precious. Okay. Precious.
Little bit of Lord of the Rings there reference, but it's my precious.
Okay. I love that.
Precious.
I love that. I love that. So, as for upcoming matches and shows, what do you have coming up that your fans need to keep an eye on?
Okay, well, let's see. This weekend is a pretty busy weekend. I am wrestling in I'm wrestling in the province of Quebec, actually, in Sorel, Tracy, and that is for Extreme Zone Wrestling. I accepted the open challenge against Catherine Von Goss, so that's going to be a first-time ever match, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to destroy her, just because that's how I do. And then the following day, I will be back in Toronto, wrestling for Championship Wrestling from Ontario. That's my home company that I work for, that I wrestle for, and I am actually having a little bit of a revenge match against Rodrigo Montana. Yeah, he kind of, after I took the win over Tomer last time, he decided to come in and jump me. And, yeah, we've got some beef, and I got to settle the score, so I'm going to kick the shit out of that boy. And it's a no DQ match, so I'm going to be bringing my Precious along for the ride. So, yeah, going to get some blood out there. And then let's see, what else do I have coming up? Let's see. Oh, I'm going to be doing a little trip down to Texas next weekend. I'm going to be checking out a couple shows down there, but I'm not on them, so it's all right. It's reality of wrestling, so you never know what happens. Opportunity can happen anytime. And then on May 5th, I'm going to be wrestling for Pro Wrestling Eclipse against the beautiful Bia. She is the champion, but I'm the former Pro Wrestling Eclipse Flames Woman Champion. I had that title for 201 days. I think she's only had it for about 90 days. So, yeah, that's all she gets. So I've been toying with her the last few times. I duct tape her to the outside of the ring for a count out instead of just beating her. Then the other time, well, a roller derby girl for some reason decided to come and attack me, so I just beat the crap out of that girl. And apparently it's a lumberjill match, so it'll be pretty interesting to see what happens. And I'm going to get my title back, so I'm looking forward to that. I need some more gold in my life. And then on May 18th, I'm going to be wrestling for Huron Wrestling Entertainment, and that is out in Wingham, Ontario, and it's another first-time ever match, and that is against an Ontario native here. His name is Pretty Ricky. This guy thinks he's some hot shit, but he has not ever faced anyone as intense as me, and he thinks that he can put his lips on me, that sort of a thing. He likes to kiss everybody. Well, that is not happening. I'll make that boy kick my ass, and I'll make him lick my barbed wire bat before he ever gets any fresher than that. And I'm going to beat him. And then I have a couple other things coming up that are not quite yet announced. And then in September, I'm going to be going on my third European tour in England. So far, I'm going to be wrestling for British Empire Wrestling. That's been announced, and I don't think I can announce the other dates. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. And, like I say, I do have other things coming up, but they're not quite announced yet, so I don't want to spoil any surprises.
So,
But I definitely need to get some more deathmatchy stuff in there. And oh yes, I'm sorry. On May 26th, there's a show for Championship Wrestling in Ontario in Toronto again, and my match has not yet been announced, but I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a bloody mess. You guys have to pay attention to that because that's going to be one sick match.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, lots of blood, lots of violence. The stuff that keeps me sane, keeps the crazy girl sane.
So for more info on Jules Malone, you can follow her on Twitter at Jules Malone. She's also on Instagram as well. So go check her
At
out
the Jules Malone.
at the Jules Malone. And it's so good to get caught up with you. Thank you so much for being on the show. You are definitely
Thank you, Kenny. Yeah.
you're one of my favorites at this point.
Oh, thank you. I love that. Thank you. Now you're my favorite.
That definitely means a lot.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna get on your bad side whatsoever because I don't want an interaction with Precious whatsoever. So I seen the videos. I seen the videos, whether it's wrestling or custom wrestling. I see how you work with. It's like Triple H and a sledgehammer. It's pretty deadly.
Oh yeah.
So I'll just
Put
leave
him
that
and
there.
I in a ring together.
So
His toy versus my toy. That would be so nice. I don't think they would ever sign me, but I think that would be a really good idea. Triple H, someone book that or hire me.
yeah, I think some of the women would be scared of you. Just
I
so
think everyone will be scared of me, and that's the reason why I'm not there. Oh,
even Becky Lynch, who I do love, me some Becky Lynch.
I love her. Her and I would be allies.
Allies. Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
Oh yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah. I'm pro the man. I like her. I like her style. I've always liked her style. I love her wrestling. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'd be allies. That's for sure.
so with that being said, so let me ask you this. So she's had so much momentum right now, and she's going around calling herself the man. As a female yourself, how do you feel about a female going around? I'm the man around here. How do you feel about that?
I support it. I
Wife,
think I don't have any problems with that. I would never have a problem with someone believing, well, someone that I like, right? So she's cool.
yeah.
So I'm cool with what she thinks. So if she wants to be the man, she can be the man. As long as no one else is trying to be the hardcore princess, Jules Malone, then we're cool with that too, right? So
Yeah.
let her do what she's doing. I believe in it. She's proven herself.
I'm sold as well. She's the double champion right now. She made
Good
history
for
with the
her.
main event in WrestleMania, which was I
Mhm.
guess for a lot of people it was long, but it was worth
Yeah.
staying up for. You know, if people wanted to go to sleep before that main event and missed out on history,
Mhm.
seeing it the first time is so much better than seeing it on demand. I'm just saying. That's just me. Like if you're gonna
Oh well,
see it,
that's good.
if you're gonna see it, you gotta see it the first time, so that you can go
Mhm.
to work on Monday and be like, "Yo, did you see that?" You know, I don't want to be left out in that conversation. Be like, "Man, I missed it. I went to bed or whatever." Well, Jules, it was great chatting with you. Thank you so much for being on the show. Congrats
Oh,
on.
thank you for having me, and happy 8th anniversary. And thank you everybody for listening in. I hope that you enjoyed listening, and please check out my stuff. And if you have companies that you would love to see me wrestle for, or opponents that you'd love to see me wrestle for, just go on Twitter and let the promoters know. Actually tweet to them and then tag me in with whomever you'd like to see me wrestle. Name the stipulations, because this is what the promoters want to hear. They want to hear what the people want to see. So yeah, and thank you again. I went off on a little tangent there, but yeah, it's awesome. Thank you so much,
Much
and happy
love.
Friday.
Definitely enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you. You too. Bye now.
Bye bye.
Jules Malone.
That was
Woo! Bye.
that was the hardcore princess, Miss Jules Malone.
Woo! Bye.
I love this